You know, it's no wonder that great country songs live, because it's about real life. Wondering about what in the world's going on. Life goes on. You like to be part of it, but you're not there, so at least you can check in, right?
That's right, and I love songs like that because they're so simple, but they're brilliant. I'm a songwriter. That's really what I do. I'm just get to sit by Joey and sing every once in a while. But as a songwriter, I just love great songs, and a lot of those old classic songs, like that one. If you take every line and break it apart, it not only is really, really brilliant, it rhymes in lots of places perfectly, and that's not easy to do. And they did a great job. That was, I think, Boudleaux Bryant back in probably the 50s.
Pretty amazing. And the great thing about it is you can harmonize with it.
Yes.
It's still good to hear great harmony. And
Wow.
and you with now this is your daughter, Heidi?
Heidi, yeah.
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 Boy, what a beautiful harmony.
You know, just playing back that and hearing, you can definitely hear her harmony part in that. And I think there's just something about the family harmony, especially with Rory and Heidi, and it's just so warm. That third part just adds such a finishing touch, and she always does such a great job with us.
I can remember back in the 50s, aren't the birds, are those birds or locusts?
That's Locust.
Boy, folks, we are here on the farm.
We're going to be distracted by all the sounds out here.
This is not a set. This is the real thing. I can remember back in the 50s when the Everly Brothers came along with just two-part harmony. Dream. And for all of us who grew up in the quartet field and harmony field, we said, there's a third part you ought to put.
Yeah.
We were always singing the third part of the Everly Brothers.
Wow.
So it's good to hear all three parts on How's the World Treating You. I need to make a confession to you. Somewhere in my younger adult years, not as a teenager, when I first heard Waylon Jennings, I wanted to sing like Waylon to be. I tried to get that growl down. I never did get it. But his wife was named Jessie Coulter.
Yeah.
She was a good Assembly of God lady who went to the Assembly of God, I think in Brentwood there, many years. But she wrote this great song, I'm Not Lisa.
Yeah.
And you sing it, right?
Yes, yes, I sing the song. This song is one of those that you didn't hear a lot of Jessie Coulter songs. I didn't anyway. But this was one that I always kept going back to and thinking, with this classic album, what would be some great songs that we've never even touched the surface on? We've never even sang. I didn't know if I could even sing it or not. And so going back and watching the YouTube video of her performing it and learning it the way that she performed it, and then when we went in the studio and recorded the track on it, we decided to do a mandolin intro instead of the piano intro. And it was very, very unique, very interesting, and very more rootsy, of course. And man, I don't know, Jessie, there's just something about her voice and her performance on it that I was afraid I would not be able to even touch the surface of.
I think she did pretty good.
I think you did great. I think you did great, Joy.
When I first came to Nashville in 1995, my job writing songs for the first 5 years was for Harlan Howard, which was a legendary songwriter. And because I wrote for him, I got to be around, everybody, Bobby Bare and Mel Tillis and Chet Atkins and so many people, but one of the people I got to spend a lot of time with was Waylon, and Jessie also. And he had heard a couple of my songs and invited me to come and write with him. Well, I was still fairly new in town, and so I had this 56 Chevy that I still have, and I drove over to his house, and I got to his house and came inside, and he brought me in and set me at the table, and Jessie made us breakfast. And I was beside myself. I thought I was in a dream, because when I pulled in, the General Lee car from the Dukes of Hazzard was parked in his driveway. And so I walked in and they invited me to come sit down for breakfast. And it was so surreal for me because I had grown up looking up to Waylon for so many years, and he had become a little bit of a fan of my songs. And so we sat and talked for a long time, and Jessie made us breakfast. And then he said, well, Hoss, should we go in here and try and write a song? And I said, yeah, that would be great. And so he started walking over there to this other room, and Jessie stopped me and she grabbed me and she said, could you try and write a great song with him instead of another song about what a bad boy he thinks he is? So I thought that was great, kind of a nagging wife like other people have, not me, but other people have. And so we went in and sat down, and what I remember most about that time was that we sat down and I was walking past some Grammy Awards, and in a glass case he had Buddy Holly's motorcycle because he had toured with Buddy. And I'm just sitting there, and he set me on an ottoman, and he sat on a couch, and he had a little table, and he had a boombox with a whole bunch of cassettes spread all around. And he had the boombox duct taped to the table so that when he would push play, it wouldn't slide and fall off. And he sat there and he just started playing me songs that he wanted me to hear. And for the first hour, he just played songs. And I remember the first one he played was a Vern Gosdin song called Do You Believe Me Now? And it was a great sad country song. And he would just listen through the whole song and just like, kind of like a little boy, just like couldn't wait to see my reaction to the song. And he would say, oh, what a song. And what struck me so neat about that was he was a fan of great country songs. And he just wanted me to hear some that I hadn't heard before. And they weren't his songs, they were just songs that he loved. So that was so cool.
Isn't it great to get close to somebody that you looked up to and find out they are the real deal?
They are the real deal. Yeah, they're human like all the rest of us, but they're the real deal. They're genuine, and they're passionate about music and passionate about family. When I brought the kids over, the kids were young, and probably the following Sunday or the Sunday after that, we drove over and they invited us to come over and swim at their swimming pool. So I brought Heidi and Hopi, and I remember driving over there, and Hopi looked at me and she said, who is Wayward Jennings anyway? It was a sweet time of our lives, it sure was.
You know, we were talking about the Everly brothers earlier, and did you say that one of them lived here close by?
Phil Everly lived in Columbia, which is about 11 or 12 miles from here.
The home of James K. Polk.
That's right. Mule capital of the world.
Yes.
And one time I was playing a songwriter show in Columbia at a little coffee shop. This is before Joey and I were singing together, and Phil was in the audience, and he invited me to come back to his house with some other people and sit with him. And once again, that's the magic of Nashville, is you never know where you're going to end up. And Phil told stories after stories after stories about him and his brother. And there were a lot of things I didn't know, and he was the funniest man. He reminded me of Dudley Moore, where he just had this big, big laugh, and he would tell stories. And what really moved me was that after they were famous, I didn't know this, but they joined the Marine Corps together. And they had been famous in maybe 57 and 58, and around 1960 they joined the Marines together. And I just thought, what a neat thing. I was in the Marines for 8 years, and so he told me lots of stories about that. And so when we got a chance to sing a collection of kind of duets and classic cover songs, we thought we have to do a song for Phil and his brother.
Let It Be Me.
Every summer, except for this summer, every summer we've done our annual Bib and Buckle Festival, because I wear bibs, Joey wears belt buckles all the time. And I guess we started it maybe 6 or 7 years ago, right after we started singing. We didn't know it was a festival at the time. And we had a little thing at another farm, and then for the last 3 or 4 years it's been here at our farm, either in our back field. We had 2,000 or 3,000 people last year, or we filled our front yard full of people and we sang on our front porch, and people just, as far as you can see, they all gathered around. It's been really neat to have people not just come and watch you play, but come to your home and watch you play. And then we've invited other songwriters and other bluegrass bands, different folks to come and play, and we've made a whole day out of it and had games for kids. And Marcy Joe's, our little family restaurant, caters it, and we have ice cream, and it's a great time.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a family event too. People bring their kids, and the only thing we ask them to for sure bring is their own lawn chairs or the blanket to throw out on the ground.
And some sunblock.
And some sunblock, because it gets hot. Yeah. But it's a fun time.
And last year, I think you had Bill Anderson, right?
We did have Bill. Yeah. Yes, we did.
Was he whispering?
He whispered. Yeah.
Well, last year was the first year we came into rain.
Yeah.
And so we had the whole day. It was gorgeous, kind of a few clouds here and there, and they were saying maybe a 50% chance of rain. Well, it poured right before Bill Anderson went on.
Yeah.
And so we had to scrap the stage, all the sound equipment got wet, we had to put it to the side, and we moved everything though out into the big tent that was out in the pasture. And so everybody gathered under the tent. Bill was so great
Yes,
about
he
just
was.
being
Flexible.
flexible, and his band got out there and the show went on under the big tent.
It actually made it more special. Sometimes when things go wrong and you think maybe it's a bad turn, it actually made it special, really special.
When the going gets tough, the tough get going, right? But only in country music can you do it like that.
Pretty neat. So this was a barn that I originally built when I wrote a song called Some Beach with Paul Overstreet.
Yeah.
And we used the royalties and we built this barn. And originally it was all to just work and tinker around on old cars. But after we started making our own television show, we built it out. And so this is a green room where Joey and I will get ready for concerts. And we'll just sit in here and tune our guitar. And then this is the main hall where people fill, and we do concerts in here on this stage.
Do you do your TV show here?
We do our TV show. This is our sound stage. So we converted our barn into a sound stage to film the television show here. We also record, this new album is the first one that we've recorded here. And then we also do concerts, farmhouse concerts here. And we do cooking segments on that set over there. We have a lobby out here where we sell merchandise when people come, and we can seat 300 people in here. So people come from all around the country and come to our concerts, and Joey and I, they'll be packed in here, and our neighbors will help seat everybody. And Joey and I will come in and we'll walk on stage, me, Joey, and Heidi, with one guitar, perform for an hour and a half or 2 hours, and then we'll meet everybody and sign some autographs, and while they're pulling out the driveway, we're in our pajamas. It's pretty nice.